How y'all doing today? Well, baby, if you have questions on what went wrong between Jeannie Mai and Yeezy's marriage, baby, the streets are talking, and let me bring you what the streets are actually saying, and it's going to be more surprising because I'll be honest with you. When I heard they break up, I said, "What did that ninja do?" Because back in the day, Jeezy, okay, was known for having side chicks. He was young, he had money, he was in those streets, right? However, it looks like Jeannie's the one that messed this up. And guess what? It wouldn't be the first time Yeezy had trouble with the woman he was dating. I will say one thing. He should have married Keisha Cole, right? Keisha is, I don't know. They were young, they were wild, they were in love, but I think, okay, listen, let's get into what the streets are saying because it's actually some really, really good insight. And also, listen, the streets are saying that maybe she got caught doing something with Freddie. I don't know if it was Freddie, even though like they had marriage, they have relations, but they didn't have any kids, so they have no reason to stay in touch. But the interesting thing is, they said that Jeannie always felt insecure because of in Atlanta who Jeezy was and who she kind of couldn't be. Y'all, let's just get into this, okay? Now, if you guys don't know, they haven't been separated for a while. Up until 5 days ago, he was liking all her pics. They were going back together. They were doing whatever. Something happened 5 days ago. And when that happened, it caused him to post this on Instagram, y'all. This is really when he decided 5 days ago when these pictures hit. Hold on, these pictures hit. And he literally posted himself back up on the block. Talking about, I ain't letting nobody stop me from doing nothing, no how. No, but all jokes aside, he did say, I'm too focused on who I'm becoming to focus on who's not coming with me. Baby, this was 5 days ago. That's when all his liking stopped. That's when he posted a bunch of pictures with all his cars. That's when he reminded people who the F he was. Now, I will say this, right? Jeezy, what is he going to style? Like with the Tim, listen, he got his own style. I know a lot of people are saying that Jeezy wanted the come up with Jeannie Mai. I'm here to tell y'all, if you don't know who the snowman is, Jeannie made a come up with Jeezy. She made a come up. Her whole family is living in his house. Okay. And I'm not saying her family's broke, but when I say this man has so much money and invested in real estate that even his real estate is now making money for his real estate, you don't understand how much money this guy has. And it's actually insane that he's been able to stay so under the radar. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that, but let's just go right into the streets are saying, okay? Should we call this a blind item? We're going to call it a blind item, okay? Okay. So let me start from the beginning because I got so many texts in about this. Okay. All right. So I was asking a bunch of people, right? What do you think went wrong? These are people that have their ear to the streets, okay? Take this with a grain of salt, but I'm just telling you what the street's saying. And I was like, was it him? Was it him? Was it him? Why did they split? They said, child, my guess is Jeannie. This was a consensus that it had to be Jeannie. Why? Right? They said because the Jeezy they knew, right? And this was in later years from like 2015 on, was reading a book a day and wanting to enjoy life and find someone special. Then he found Jeannie. One person said, I think Jeezy wanted it more than her. Or maybe she thought she was getting a different type of ninja. That made me laugh too. Maybe she wanted to be outside and flex 24/7. He's outside, but he's not into industry stuff. Again, hold on, this gets better. So I reached out to other people and I was like, wait, so he wasn't creeping? Because again, you know, I'm always trying to blame the man, right? They said, listen, I don't know about that. He's always had chicks on the side in all of his relationships. But in the last like 2015 on, right? Jeezy, the person they were all around, when he first came out, having all those girls being wild, young, free, all this other stuff, that wasn't the same Jeezy years later. So they're like, I'm not even sure what makes him tick anymore. So I dug a little deeper, right? And I was like, wait, so he wasn't creeping, right? They said, it's different when he first got in the game. And he basically, when you're a hood ninja that everybody feared, well, of course, he had BMF backing, allegedly, okay? BMF, allegedly, right? But he was country street for real. But when you're given a chance to act, but when he was given a chance to actually make it, right? He learned from his effed up ways. And he learned over the years what he needed to do to actually keep growing his wealth. Don't listen to anybody saying that man used Jeannie for a come up. Again, listen, Jeezy to me, he has been a colorist when he was younger. There's a lot of things I can say. He got money. He got more money than Jeannie Mai could ever hope to have. And I'm being serious. She works, she got a cute little check. She knows those Hollywood circles. I get that. But baby, she was enjoying being a rich man's wife. And make no mistake, he is very, very rich. So get this. He said he learned about his effed up ways over the years and really corrected himself so he could keep living the life and growing his wealth. But his only vice was always a gang of women. However, they're saying that stopped a long time ago. One person I reached out to said, I know a lot of his chicks he would hit up here and there back in the day, but nobody has heard from him since he got with Jeannie. Again, this is so many independent sources confirming that Jeezy might have been the biggest dog back in the day, but he had grown up. He matured. He wanted what is it? It's just me and my bad bit. So you can say I'm on my Brad Pitt. He wanted one person that he could really enjoy life with. Now it gets deeper. Hold on. And I said, so then I was like, yo, this is to somebody else. Because I like to. It's crazy. I heard she was creeping too, because right? Somebody said she probably was. That's when my ears perked up. You have to understand, she was fresh out of a marriage and trying to do everything in life that she acted like she didn't want in her marriage. And I will say something, when she was with Freddie, she really did act completely different. And the things she wanted, I would never remember her comments about, dark meat's good for a snack, but I want white meat to marry. And I was like, people said she was making a joke, but I like Jeannie, but then again, Jeannie and Jeezy both had warning signs. Anyway, J&J, JJJ, that was on their monogram. Jeannie, Jeezy, Jenkins, that was their monogram. Anyway, they said everybody still thinks that Jeannie still needed to hang for a minute, okay? But they said, remember, Jeannie was cheating on her last husband, right? They said she was cheating on her last as well. And I was like, wow, that's so true. They fought real quick. Someone else said, I can say Jeezy wanted to marry Keisha, right? But she didn't show up from what I heard, okay? She wouldn't show up. They had been too much, right? Again, Jeezy got what? Married during quarantine, basically, right? And that's when things started to make sense. That whole thing about people saying that Jeezy was more into her than she was into him. Now listen, I'm sure she was flattered. He's not bad looking. Yes, his jeans are always too tight and he wearing Timbs like it's 19, but he's not bad looking, right? And baby, when you know how much money is in that bank account, people would say he started looking a lot better. She was flattered by the attention. He went all out. Let's also not forget, he showed her a side of life that she actually liked, right? Being out, industry, thinking you getting a hood rap superstar. And again, he is on the scene from what I hear, but not the way Jeannie would want to be. All right. They're saying, and for everybody being like, oh my God, remember when Kevin Samuels said that's what y'all supposed to do, Merritt? Let me tell y'all something. Can y'all stop quoting that high value descendant of Satan down in the devil? Kevin Samuels hated women. Kevin Samuels hated Black women. Kevin Samuels would say that Jeezy or whoever is supposed to marry Big Bird and Cookie Monster from Sesame Street before marry a woman that has an education or speaks up for herself. Stop using Kevin Samuels. He was only there to destroy all women, but Black women first. Anyway, right? They're saying the reason that things didn't work out with Keisha is because Keisha allegedly slept with some of his homeboys and she played with Floyd Mayweather in front of his face. They said, don't forget, Floyd invited him to the house once when they did a tour. The next thing you know, Keisha was hanging with Floyd. Now, keep that in mind because we're going to come back to that, right? They said, now, to be fair, Keisha and Jeezy were fresh to the industry. They were just walling out, right? They said Keisha bought him every Red Monkey jean. Again, I was like, what's Red Monkey jean? They said it was a very popular jean brand. Red Monkey jean, and he was sprung. They said, you know, men aren't used to anyone getting them anything, right? And again, I was like, what is the Red Monkey denim? And they were like, it's some denim that was expensive for Black folks back in the day. All right. So anyway, right? They said, so when she saw Floyd and everything Floyd had, Floyd Mayweather, right? She was good as gone. So here's another thing. Someone else chimed in and said, the streets are saying, I see Jeannie doing what she's been doing. And she'll pop out with someone in 2 years to think she wants, whenever she thinks she wants to be seen with someone. Jeannie doesn't mind taking any gigs. We know that girl works. She's just on a talk show with new game show with one of the Wayans brothers. Says she doesn't mind taking any gig she can get on any channel or even a public access channel. She likes to create her own world and bubble and be seen. Just not sure how that works with having a partner. All right. Now, they're saying as far as Jeezy, this is his first time doing a lot of interviews because of that book he has out. It's a #1 bestsellers. So somebody said that they're guessing Jeezy hid from interviews so he wouldn't get picked apart. Even when he would drop albums, he would push it. Do more shows, but he didn't pop up on radios. Now, you know me, but why wouldn't he want to do interviews? They said Jeezy is an ex-gangster and a hoe. Him doing interviews defending or talking about an interracial marriage wouldn't end well for him. Nothing he can ever say will really make sense because he's hidden for so long from real interviews. I think this book he has out after all these years, yeah, that might give a little bit of light, but he can stick to the book. And really his press is over. That might be why they announced it now, right? Because again, he stopped promoting the book. Okay. And then they said, and the biggest thing is, there's the whole BMF thing that had him not doing interviews. One thing they can say about Jeezy, right? He's made it this long without having to face real questions and the media, and not many people have those pockets and can say that. Again, Jeezy, when that whole thing about the snowman and all that stuff, it wasn't actually just him rapping. He is one of the very few people that had their hand in the street, used that as a foundation, and now he is truly rich, rich, rich. Ask Jeannie, she knows, okay? He is rich, 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 but nobody looks into his past about how you get that money, who your associates, all this other stuff, right? They're saying he definitely had to learn the hard way. He did messed up stuff in the beginning for a long time, dealing with friends and business and showing up only for himself and his first work. He's always, and I was like, okay, fine, got it. I'm not trying to get anybody's fortune taken away, but let's talk about this, right? I said, I heard he was a bit of a narc. I have heard that, right? But I assume maybe it was just him being young, selfish, too much money, too young, whatever. They said he's always messed with light-skinned girls, but that always happens when you get money. But now I think he's out of that. With Jeannie, he thought he found something different in her, because she was Asian. He's on his worldly kick and loving all things about this world. I think she fed into that, and she does have a lot, have a lot of knowledge from working in different situations, different industries. She is very worldly and very cultured. They said, don't forget the first 10 years of his career, he was always being like shot at, right? I'm sure he still looks over his shoulder. And you know, for me, I'm thinking, okay, so great. He cleaned up his mess. He cleaned up his act. But what about the Jeannie mess? Okay. Now, here's the general consensus among the streets. I think they'll both be fine, even if she uses her platform to talk, like she did about Freddie, her ex-husband. I don't think Jeezy will respond. He hasn't kissed and told on anyone he's dating this far. His thing will be having to deal with custody. That really bothered him with his first baby's mom, what happened with custody. Now, people are thinking that maybe they didn't actually mess well, right? Some people say that they think that Jeannie sold herself as this powerful, strong, independent woman, like she don't catch feelings, she catches flights. And then he got that mixed, of course, that is a part of her, mixed with a woman that is insecure and wants to be at every event that her rapper boyfriend is at. At one point, it could be said he couldn't be out like that because of the gangster stuff. At one point, he couldn't be in the streets. Okay, he was used to traveling and doing what he wants, but they're saying that right, let's just say he had to be at the MTV Music Awards, right? That wasn't him. She wasn't around all the time, but she wanted to be everywhere. Okay, and they're saying that he just got outgrown of the streets. He wanted this gala type of thing, and that wasn't going to be it. Ada, this, that, and the third. Y'all, listen, I'm digging for more information. Right now, it looks like the consensus is, and until Jeannie or Jeezy come out and confirm it, the consensus is she did something, because he was definitely in with her, and he was all in, and had the whole family living in the house, not because they were taking advantage, because Jeannie got a coin, but because he's all about that family life. He is rich. He didn't need her for a come up, right? Yes, he sold the book, but honestly, I didn't even know they were promoting that book. That's just on a bestseller, because at the end of the day, he is a rap legend. Listen, my ear is going to be on the street some more. I'm going to dig up some more. People are saying they are going, because more information is coming out. Because, baby, if you were surprised by this, please believe Jeannie Mai was the most surprised. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll talk to y'all later.